subjects. Today we will be acting out Rumplestiltskin.
So we can have a good time. Please turn off your cell phones, iPads, and children. In this play, there's a lot of interaction, so we want you to interact with us. But if you're not told to interact or talk, I should have your head removed. And please don't go out backstage in any time during the play, or it will be on that very happy note. Enjoy the show. Are we ready to start?
Yeah.
We are? Good. Hi, my name is Gladys, and do you know what I have in this box? No? Well, let me tell you. I have some actors in this box, and today we are going to be presenting a play. But, you see, I have a little problem. I couldn't get enough actors in this little box for all the parts in the play. The cast of characters, that's what's all the people in the play, is very lazy. I just don't know what to do. Oh, wait, I have an idea. How would all of you like to help us out and play parts in our play? You can help the actors right here today. How would you like that? You would? Good. Now, first, I'll need some sheep. This group can be the king's sheep. Can you make the sound that sheep make? Very good. Now, whenever I say, the king's sheep said, you make that sound. Got it? Okay, let's try it out. The king's sheep said. Very good. Now, this group. Oh, I've got a funny animal for you to be. You can be the king's pigs. So, let's hear some pigs. Very good. So, whenever I say, the king's pig said, you make that sound. Okay? The king's pig said. Very good. Now, this group can be the king's cows. So, whenever I say, the king's cow said, you guys say. Very good. Now, what can this group be? Oh, I know. You can be the king's wood choppers. And you'll go like this. Chop, chop, chop. And do you know what wood choppers say when a tree falls down? Yes, they say timber. So, let's do 3 chops and a nice long timber. Okay? The king's wood choppers said. Chop, 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 timber. Very good. Now, this last group will be the villagers. You will talk to the characters and give them directions. For example, someone might come up to you and say, hello, villagers. And you will say, hello. Hello, villagers. Very good. Now, let's have a rehearsal for our play just so we make sure we have our cues down. The king's sheep said. The king's pigs said. The king's cows said. The king's woodchoppers said. Chop, 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 timber. Hello, villagers. Hello. Excellent. Oh, I almost forgot. Throughout the play, we'll need some sound effects. One in particular is the howling wind. Can you guys make the wind howl? Like. Very good. Now, I think we're ready to start our play. Once upon a time, all stories seem to start like that, don't they? I wonder why that is, don't you? Well, I guess all stories have to start somewhere, and once upon a time is as good a place as any, so. Once upon a time, there was a miller who was very, very poor. Oh dear, he sure looks poor, doesn't he? Well, anyway, this poor miller had not a penny in his pocket.
Oh dear, have not a penny in my pocket.
And what's even worser, did I say worser? That's not quite right, is it? Maybe what I should have said was what's more awfuler. More awfuler? That's not quite right either, is it? Well, anyway, without money, he could buy no food.
Oh dear, been weeks since I've eaten. I'm beginning to feel so...
Oh dear, we'd best stop him before he hurts himself, or even worse, or more awful, or one of us. Here, can you come help me? Can you help me push him back down? Thank goodness you were here, or else who knows what might have happened. We're gonna have to go back to your seat now. Well, anyway, this poor Miller had no money and no food. Oh dear, now he's done it again. Here, can you come help me again? Thanks for helping again. Oh. Well, I best be careful about saying that word. It seems to upset him. Well, as I was saying, this Miller had no money and no... I almost said that word again. Food. And we don't want to get him started again, do we? So we'll have to be careful about saying the word food. Oh dear, now I've said it. Come on, keep him helping again. Thank you. Okay. So, not only did this Miller have no money, and he had no job.
Oh dear. Perhaps I could get a job. Then perhaps I could buy some.
Oh dear, he almost said. He almost said food. Oh dear. Come on, can you help me? Oh, how about this? I have an idea. Can you come here? Now, can you go sit there by him and watch him? And if he gets up and starts going crazy like that again, you just push him down, okay? Or we'll never get on with the story. Now, as I was saying, this Miller had no money, no food, and no job. He did have a beautiful daughter. Hello, Papa. I said hello, Papa.
Oh, hello, Annette.
How are you this morning, Papa?
Sad.
Why are you so sad, Papa? Is it because we have no money? No food? Oh dear, now she said it. Come on. Okay, now I'm going to punch him and I'll watch her. And if either of them says that word, we'll just fix that, okay? What in the world was that all about? Oh, and that thing! Looks like it just crawled out of the ground. Hey, you there, who are you anyway?
You there, who are you?
Me? Well, I'm known as Gladys, if that's any of your business.
Well, I'm known as Jerks. I'm my name.
So you're known as Rum, are you? He's pulling her leg, isn't he? Nobody's name is Rum. But who do you suppose he is?
How do you know my name? Nobody's supposed to know my name. Eavesdropping, that's what you've been. That's what you've been doing, a bunch of nasty hackers.
Do you suppose that really was Rumplestiltskin?
Yes.
You do? Well, I'm not so sure, but I heard he lives on the high mountain past the forest where the fox and the hare meet each other tonight. But we'll have to check into that later to see if it really was Rumplestiltskin. For right now, we'd best get back to these two.
But Papa, what little everything spinning is not enough to keep us in.
Oh dear, she almost said.
And unless you find work soon, we'll starve.
Oh, my dear, no one knows that better than I. But for as fine a miller as I am, there is no work to be had in the kingdom. I applied to Roger the miller.
Yes?
Nothing. I applied to Glenn the miller.
Yes?
Nothing.
Oh.
I even applied to Richard's mill house.
Yes?
Nothing.
Oh, Papa, I have it.
Have it? Have what?
Perhaps you should see the king.
The king? I couldn't.
Papa, he may have need of a miller.
I know, my dear, but I couldn't walk right up.
Papa, we're starving.
Now?
Now,
She says. She doesn't know what it's like to walk right up to the king. Do you think you could do it?
Papa, stop shilly-shallying and be on your way.
Perhaps you're right, my dear. You go back to your spinning and I'll be off to see the king.
And so the miller set off to see the king, and Annette went back to her spinning. Oh, now if he's off to see the king, we'd best set up the castle. Now this will be the king's throne. Oh, now we need some pages. Who would like to be a page? Here, can you come be a page? I need one more. You can come be one. Now, do you two know what pages are? Well, pages are the king's messengers. They run errands for the king and practically just do whatever he wants them to do. It's a really big job. Oh, now we need to dress you like pages. So, here's a costume. Oh, got both of them mixed up. Here's a costume for you. And here's a costume for you. There. Now you look like proper pages. Your first assignment will be to guard this gate. Now, you stand over there, and you stand here. And act like there's a gate in between you, and don't let anybody in, okay? Now we best get back to the miller. Oh, wait. Oh, but first we need to grab the king, obviously. Wait. King! Oh, there you are. Okay. There, now we can get back to the miller. The miller walked on and on till he reached the village. There he met the villagers.
Hello, villagers.
And the villagers asked him, "Where are you going, miller?"
Where am I going? I'm off to see the king about a job.
And his friends, the villagers, asked him, "Are you not afraid to walk right up to the king?"
Me? Afraid? Of course I'm not afraid. I really am.
And so the villagers said, "Goodbye and good luck, miller." So the miller walked on and on till he reached the king's wood choppers who were busily chopping wood. They said,
Hello, wood choppers.
and the wood choppers stopped their chopping and said, "Hello."
Wood choppers, do you happen to know which way to the king's castle?
And the wood choppers said, "That way." And the miller walked on and on past the king's sheep, cattle grazing in the fields. They said, "Moo." The miller walked on and on past the king's pigs, who said, and the miller walked on and on past the king's sheep, who said, and the miller walked on and on till he reached the great gate of the castle. And the pages said, "What do you want?"
What do you want?
What do I want? Well, I want to see the king.
But the pages said, "No."
No, but I must speak with the king.
And the pages said, "About what?"
About what?
About what? Well, I must see him about John.
And the pages said, "What work do you do?"
What work do you do?
What work do I do? I'm a miller.
And the pages said, "The king only has room for 2 bakers
The king only has room for 2 bakers
and 3 jesters
and 3 jesters
and 1 miller."
and 1
And so the pages admitted the miller into the castle. But the miller could hear the wind howling about the Turks, and he was sore afraid. Here, can you come home and not be so afraid? Okay. So the miller walked up the spiral staircase, and at the top of the spiral staircase, there was a door. And when he went through that door, there he was face to face with the king. Pages, pages, get this oath off me! Now help me up to my throne. There, that's better. Now, take your places at my feet. Pages, are you responsible for bringing this clumsy oath into my castle? And the pages said, "Yes, your majesty."
Yes, Your Majesty.
I should have your heads for such shenanigans, but I'll let it go this time. And the pages were very much relieved and said, "Thank you, your majesty."
Thank you, Majesty.
You're welcome. Now, what is it that you want?
Me? I desire a job as a miller, Your Majesty.
A miller? A big clumsy one, you want to laugh? I said, what a laugh. Oh, what a laugh. Besides, I have an application from another man who says he's the finest miller in my kingdom.
Oh dear. If I fail, and it will never forgive me. I must be more forceful. Your Majesty, I'm the finest miller in the kingdom.
What? And the pages said, he said he's the finest miller in the kingdom.
He said he's the finest miller in the kingdom.
Bah! I said bah!
Bah!
Besides, this other man says if I hire him, he'll bring his eldest son to work in my fields, and his next to work on my wood choppers, and his next to work with my cattle, sheep, and pigs. Can you better this offer?
I have and then have nothing. Let's see, I have daughter. That's right, Your Majesty. I have a daughter who can spin straw. That's right, Your Majesty. I have a daughter who can spin straw into gold.
What's that? What's that you say?
I said I have a daughter who
Yes.
spins straw into gold.
Spin straw into gold. Now this is something that interests me.
Oh dear, what have I said? It is true though, sort of. Do we not spin straw into flax? And from the flax and yarn, do we not weave fine linen? And do we not sell that fine linen for money, which is gold? Oh dear, what have I gotten myself into?
Pages, bring the miller back to my throne. Miller, this spinning of straw into this daughter of yours who can do this marvelous feat.
Her name?
Yes. Name.
Name, let's see.
Yes, her name.
Name,
Man, that would be
oh dear.
Well, if you won't tell me your name, I have other means to take care of. Pages! Pages! Where are my pages? Oh, there you are. Please go into the village and find this daughter of the miller and bring her back to my castle, and we'll have proof of this marvelous feat. And if you fail, it will be... And so the pages set off on their mission. But what they could not understand was how they were to find this girl if they did not know her name. So they went up to the king and asked him, how are we to find her if we don't know her name?
How will we find her if we do not know her name?
Good point. How would I find her if we don't know her name? Oh, I have an idea. What color is that? Yellow. And are you not pages? Yes. Then we'll find her with yellow pages. That's an old time ago, if any of the younger kids know this. And so the pages set off on their mission, out the door, down to spiral staircase where the wind was howling, and through the great gate of the castle. They went past the king's sheep, who said, past the king's pigs, who said, past the king's cows, who said, past the king's woodchoppers who were busy chopping wood. They said, and finally to the village. There they met the villagers. And the pages said, hello, villagers.
Hello, villagers.
Then it occurred to the villagers that the villagers might know the miller's daughter's name. So they asked the villagers, do you know the miller's daughter's name? And the villagers said, Annette. Annette. Well, that should make your job a lot simpler. So the pages set off to seek Annette, but first they thanked the villagers for their help.
Thank you.
By George, this
dear.
is quite good.
What have I said?
The spinning
I
of
can't
fine
really
gold.
surround the
I think I
gold
should marry such a girl.
Dear,
Who
what
can do
have I
this
got
marvelous
myself
feat.
into?
Don't you think? Pages! Pages! Get this oath off me! And as luck would have it, the pages found Annette in the first cottage they came to. But as they were setting off on the road to the castle, they heard such a clamor in the distance that they knew the king was angry about something. So they hurried on without a hello to the villagers or woodchoppers, nor a wave to the cattle, pigs, or sheep. They went through the great gate of the castle, up the spiral staircase where the wind was howling, and through the door. And there was the miller and the king on the floor again. Pages, get this oath off me! And the pages did, for the king was in a fearful rage. I shall do such things to you. I don't know yet, but I shall. Yes, pages, send the fanfare. I announcement to make. If this daughter goes, whatever.
Annette, Your Majesty.
Yes, the daughters. Annette, if she can spin for me 15 skeins of pure gold, you shall become my mother.
Pardon me, Your Majesty, but she's...
Don't interrupt me. Oh. Oh, yes. She can spin for me 15 skeins of pure gold, you shall become my mother.
Papa, spin shrine to gold. What does this mean?
Who is this?
This is whatever her name is. I mean, Annette, Your Majesty.
So this is whatever her name is.
Annette, Your Majesty.
Papa, would you please explain to me what's going on here?
Oh, my dear, I've done a terrible thing. I was desperate for a job, and I told the king that you could spin straw.
Into gold. I know, Papa, but why? You know I can do no such thing.
Pages, sound a fanfare. I have a proclamation. away, okay? How will you spin? Great job. Okay, now we best get back to Annette. Poor Annette was left alone, not knowing quite what to do.
What am I supposed to do now? Do you know how to spin straw into gold? Neither do I. And if I don't, I'll have my... Oh dear. What was that? What in the world was that all about? What? Behind me?
Hi there, Nance.
Who are you?
Me, well, I'm known as Trent.
So you're Rum, are you?
Don't call me that.
Why not? It's your name, isn't it?
No, that's not my name. That just slipped out. Nobody knows that. Trent did it again.
Well, who cares about your name anyway? I've got a bit of spinning to do. Yes, spinning. And not just ordinary spinning. I can do that. But I have to spin all this straw into gold. What's so funny? You can spin straw into gold.
I can do many things, dearie. I can make thunder and lightning. But thunder and lightning stop. Please. Now, what are the give me another strike of gold?
My necklace. I'll give you my necklace.
Give it here. That's it, Tamlin. Now go to sleep. Now spinning wheel spin. Rumplestiltskin, Rumplestiltskin, Rumplestiltskin. Today I spun, tomorrow I spin for no reason. Rumplestiltskin.
I had the strangest dream. But what's this? The little man? He must have done it. And it was no dream.
It surely wasn't a dream. We all saw it happen. Oh look, here comes the king again.
Hey, unlock the door!
And the pages did, and the king entered. The king was astonished to see that the marvelous feat had been done.
I'm astonished to see that this marvelous feat has been done. 5 skeins of gold! Oh, it's beautiful, and that's so are you, my dear. But business people put. Pay more straw! Put it next to the spinning wheel. I now leave you to make your second photo. By tomorrow morning, you will have spun 10 skeins of gold. That means you don't have to spin for me 5 more skeins to have completed my order. Understood?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Good. Pages, lock the door and guard it well.
And the pages did, and the king left, leaving Annette alone for the second time.
Well, here I am again. So what happens now? I wonder if that little man will come back. Do you think so? I think so too. Guess we were right, huh? That sounds like him already.
Hello there, Nance.
I thought you'd be back.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
What for?
I was hoping you would spin for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, why should I?
Well, you've done it once before. I don't see why you shouldn't do it a second time. Well, are you going to do it?
Well, I don't know. Should I? Oh, well, all right. I'll do it. Put it to bed. Come on, to bed.
My ring. I'll give you my ring.
Sit down here. Spinning wheel spin. Rumplestiltskin, Rumplestiltskin, Rumplestiltskin. Yesterday I spun, today I spin, for no knows a Rumplestiltskin.
Well, I can't think of anything better than to do. Can you? All I need him for is once more. Then I'll be rid of him. Thank goodness for that. Won't I? You don't think I will? Oh, of course I will.
Well, we know better, don't we? Oh, look, here comes the king back again.
Pages, lock the door. Now, let's see what we have. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. What a wonderful gollywog. We now must spin the last 5 skeins of gold. Pages, more straw. Put it next to the spinning wheel. I now for the last time, and if you fail to spin, it will be. Can you remember that?
Oh, yes. I'm quite sure of it.
Pages, lock the door and guard it well.
And the pages did, and the king left, leaving the net alone for the 3rd time.
I wonder where he can be. Maybe he isn't going to come. Do you think he will? Guess you were right.
Hi there, Ned. What are you talking to those kids?
So you're here at last.
What do you mean, here at last?
Well, we've been waiting for you.
We have we?
Yes, we have.
What for?
Well, you've done it twice before, and don't you see why you shouldn't do the 3rd time?
Me neither. If you got something to me. Come on, what you gonna give me?
What have I got to give you? There's... Yes, well, I have anything to give you.
That's what I thought.
Oh, please, won't you spin for me?
Why should I?
I gave you everything. I had my ring, my necklace. Can I give you one of those again? Wouldn't that work? No, that wouldn't work.
No, of course not, dearie. You already gave those things to me. Come on, what you gotta give me?
I don't know.
But you didn't.
No, I don't.
Well, I
You do?
do. Yes, you can give me the first child after you marry the king. Who wants you to spend all the strong gold? Yes, you can give me the child.
Maybe I won't have any such trial.
I'll take a chance. You'll give it to me.
And if I don't, you won't spin for me?
Why should I?
Very well. I'll do it.
Remember, you promised.
Oh, I hope I get right.
I got the better of her, didn't I? I'm going to get her. A spin with a spin. Rumplestiltskin, Rumplestiltskin, Rumplestiltskin. Today I spin, next summer I bake, 'cause then I will the king's child take. Since I've spun, I'll no more spin, for no name's a Rumplestiltskin.
Until the funny little man disappeared. And when Annette woke the next morning, she saw that, sure enough, he had spun all the straw into gold. And when the king returned, as he said he would,
Hey, unlock the door.
and the pages did, and the king entered. The king was astonished, no, pleased to see that she had again spun straw into gold.
I'm pleased to see that you have again strung straw into gold. And true to my promise, your miller shall become my miller, and Beauty, my dear, shall become the queen. Hey, stand the fanfare! Now make the announcement that Annette shall become the queen.
And the pages said, Annette shall become the queen.
Annette shall become the queen.
And when the villagers heard that, they said, hip hip hurrah! And when the woodchoppers heard that, they stopped their chopping and said, hip hip hurrah! And the cows mooed, and the pigs oinked, and the sheep baaed. The whole kingdom rejoiced as the pages prepared Annette for her royal wedding. Here, can you bring Annette her stuff? so the king and Annette were married and lived happily as all kings and queens should. Then, 1 year later, the king had an announcement to make, a very important announcement.
Pages, Samantha, an announcement to make. On this day, my Queen Annette has given me a child, and we are full of rejoicing and gladness, aren't we? Aren't we? Now, my dear, perhaps we should sit and rest. Pages, come here. Guard the queen and the new little baby. And if anything happens to the child, pardon me, I have very important business of a state to take care of.
And so the king left Annette humming a lullaby to her first child. And the pages kept watch all around, but then tomorrow, yesterday is today. Well, anyway, all night long, Annette has been thinking of unusual names. Oh dear, he's coming back. Hey there, Annette. I'm ready. Is your name Short Ribs? No, it isn't Short Ribs. Is it Sheepshanks? No, it isn't Sheepshanks. Better yet. Is it Volley Wally Iggly Aspen? No, it isn't Volley. Whatever it was. Besides, that's not really at all. Just made it up. I know, so it doesn't count, does it? Of course it counts, Jerry. Now I'll be back tomorrow to take the kid. And so the funny little man disappeared, leaving Annette very worried. And these pages were also very worried, for they didn't want to lose their... So the pages thought and thought. Then they had an idea. So they went up to the queen and said, why don't we go out into the forest and try to find out the little man's name? Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Good luck, pages. And so the pages set off on their mission. Out the door, out the door, down the spiral staircase, where the wind was howling. And through the great gate of the castle. They went past the king's sheep, who said, past the king's pigs, who said, past the king's cows, who said, past the king's wood choppers, who were busy chopping wood. They said,
Chop, 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 timber.
and past the villagers who waved and said,
No.
and the pages waved in return and hurried on their way. They went up the high mountain, past the forest where the fox and the hare bid each other good night. And there, quick, pages, let's hide!
Today I'll brew, tomorrow I bake, and then I will the beast giant take. Since I've spun, I have never more spin. For no name's a Rumplestiltskin.
Did you guys hear his name? You did? Good. No, quick, let's go tell the queen. So they hurried on, past the villagers and the woodchoppers, past the king's cows, pigs, and sheep. They went through the great gate of the castle, up the spiral staircase, where the wind was howling, and through the door. Then they went up to the queen and said, do you know who it was?
You know who it was?
Who?
Rumplestiltskin, of course. What a way to get off my mind.
It is the day after tomorrow. I mean, it is today, of course, but if you're looking at it from the day before yesterday, it is the day after tomorrow. Well, the day after tomorrow has finally caught up with us. Well, it's the last day that Rumplestiltskin is to come.
I wonder where he can be.
Hi there, ready to be a king.
Later, if I have to.
If you have to. If you have to.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Is your name Marianne?
What is that I'm hearing? Name is Marianne.
Is it Louise?
Are you crazy? Is she crazy? No, it's Louise.
Is it?
Yes.
Might it be
Go on.
Rumplestiltskin?
Oh! Who told you? I am a sniffy Parker kid's clown. Oh, I'm so angry. I can crawl back into my hole and see if I ever see any of you again. Oh, so I love you.
And so the funny little man disappeared and was never seen or heard of again. And just then, the king happened to be returning. When he saw that Annette and the baby were all right, he was ever so happy.
I'm ever so happy.
And the miller was ever so pleased also.
And I'm ever so pleased also.
Oh, and the pages took off their costumes, and they went to their own homes. Can you go back to the audience now? And the whole kingdom gave the pages a big hip hip hurrah!
Hip hip hurrah!
For the pages had saved the day. And they all lived happily ever after.